We continue our pre-budget coverage on the other side. What does corporate India want from the finance minister? That question to Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, Chairman and Managing Director of Biocon. Back in business in 2 minutes. Twenty-second of February, it's Friday. You're back in business with me, Harsha Subramaniam. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, Chairman and Managing Director of Biocon, joins us in business today to tell us what the industry is expecting from the finance minister this time around. Ma'am, very thanks for joining in. What are you expecting from the budget, and specifically with respect to the fiscal deficit target?
Well, you know, I really am very concerned about this looming fiscal deficit, and it is very clear that the finance minister does have a very challenging act to play. Now, personally, I believe that he will have to look at cutting back on certain subsidies. I think it is very important that we go ahead with GST implementation, because that is going to be a huge boost to the GDP, which is also being challenged at the moment. I also believe that the industry also expects certain things to happen, because I think the economy does need a boost. And so it is a tough balancing act to perform. And personally, I also believe that you need to incentivize the manufacturing sector. The country is very undercapitalized, so you do need to encourage FDI and, more importantly, FII into the country. So I think there's a lot of opportunities, but it will all depend on what the budget spells out.
Ma'am, corporates are really not spending on any fresh capital investment plans. What do you think the budget can have in store that could perhaps revive this investment cycle?
Well, first and foremost, I think we do need to look at the whole tax structure of the corporate sectors. You know, so far only IT has been the favored sector. I mean, if we want manufacturing to be a big sector for India, then what are the manufacturing shops available to industry? Today, capital is very expensive, and you know, you want the manufacturing sector to expand. Most companies are looking offshore to do this. I mean, you know, companies like ours are looking to other destinations for expanding manufacturing. And I think the Indian government must take note of this, because it is very difficult because of land issues, because of environmental issues, because of capital injection issues, power issues. I mean, there are huge numbers of issues surrounding manufacturing, and the government has to urgently take a note of this and make sure that they encourage investment in these sectors.
While the finance minister has been making a series of measures to ensure that he's on the path of fiscal consolidation, what do you think are the risk factors and red flags, something that you don't want to see in this budget?
I think we need a lot of clarity in our taxation policies. I think our legal system needs a lot more transparency and clarity, and we don't want flip-flopping policies. I think this whole issue about retrospective tax has to have a huge sense of clarity about it before there is confidence rolled back into investment. Because I think this again should be in the rarest of rare cases. It should not be a sort of a carte blanche kind of approach just to rake in taxes. So I think this is a very, very serious and urgent issue. I think government must look at consistency in its policies. I think industry wants to see consistency, and they want that to enjoy the confidence of relying on government policy.
Sure.
So I think this is very important.
We'll leave it there. Many thanks for joining us with your perspective. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, Chairman and Managing Director of Biocon, on her expectations from the union budget this time around. Up next, we talk business with M. Narendra.